Okay, Ian, I'm going to try and do a quick video because its battery's dying. A couple things Ted will show you in his thing, or Todd in his paper. The bolt cannot come out here, the back of the oil pump at all. In fact, I'm going to go inside because it's just too windy. I don't want to make too much noise here. So, a couple things. Oil sealant on this bolt, but this bolt cannot come out the back at all. Yours is probably right. I don't think it's ever been taken out, right? So I'm sure you'll get all the bolts in a template and get them in the right place. Also, Todd says, and Ted said, put the oil pump on before you mount the cover. So you'll have a new cover and everything, and you'll have to mount your new O-ring and oil pump and all that. My point about the keys, as you can see, those little keys sticking out that the oil pump can sit on, so that you can, set this up and then put the oil pump on and let it rest there. These keys hold it on. On the block, they're not. There's no holes in them. They're not quite this big. I think they're like about that big. And I can't remember exactly which ones they were. I believe. Let's see. Anyway, you have a couple keys that hold, let's say it's this one, it's not, but let's say it's this one and then here or something. When you go to put it up against the head gasket, or try to put it on if you're keeping below the head gasket, let's see if I can do a better demonstration. You're trying to do it like this, go all the way to the block and then go up, it won't work because the keys are going to stop you. And that's why Roger at Fort Crawler and even Ted on his paper says be patient, because it's it can be a little bit of a bear to get it up over the cover, especially when you put the sealer on the corners. Now if you look here, you'll see head gasket material. This is not sealer, it's actually head gasket material, because when you put it on, it has to be right up against the head gasket and then slid up against the block over the keys. And it takes a little work. It took me a little bit of finagling. Another reason you can't do that way, where you're at an angle like that and then kind of put it up to the block and then pop it on. Not only the keys, but the oil pump drive splint. It's got to go on exactly right. So you're basically kind of forced to get it up, right up against the head gasket, and then slide it forward and kind of wiggle it in. Once you see it's going in more than the depth of the keys, then you just kind of force it on there. Not too crazy, but and this is where I guess a lot of people pinch the head gasket. That's what that term comes from. So, and I guess there's a lot more risk of that if you don't drop the pan. Some people cut the gasket away, and I don't know how the hell they do that without getting any in the pan and all that, but I guess it's been done according to some. I found that really hard to believe, but I guess anything's possible, and I'm pretty new at this, so that's the deal. And don't forget, I think the book even says to put sealer in the hole. You can put a little dab in the hole, or you just put some on the tips of the oil pan bolts when you put them back in. So I cleaned mine up real well and put them back in. And yeah, so then sealant in that one, and the new O-ring, new oil pump, water pump. The guy used a bunch of gasket form in place stuff, which I guess is a big no-no. Again, you can use like a tiny thin layer, but most people don't. Most builders, I guess, don't. Could ask around on that. So that's the deal with the keys thing I was explaining, and I thought it might help to, just as a tip. And then also, when you get these in, get the cover in, be prepared. Have this already sealed, the gasket already on the other side, maybe with the bolts through it, because the bolts thread into this one. As this one's a little bit more difficult. This is a hard pipe it's like a wraparound pipe that goes around the back of the head. Not sure on your 93 or whatever if it's any different, but it shouldn't be. It comes in here. This one is fairly easy. It's on the IACV, so you can pull it back a little bit and work it on, and the bolts actually go through this way. So that one I kind of waited till the last second, put a little sealer on the gasket, and then put the bolts through, held the gasket in place, and had sealer on this side, and then just put it on. This one can, like I said, you can do last because you'll have room. This one you won't. Once you get the cover on, it's right up against that pipe. You can't exactly, unless you want to loosen it from the heater hose and push it back. So that's it for that. I hope that helps in some way. Just remember, don't let that bolt protrude, because it will push on the tensioner. But like I said, your motor's new, so, or I don't think your motor's ever been taken apart, right? So it's probably, everything's in the right place. Just make a good template for all the bolts, and already know ahead of time what the torque is for them, and just go hand tight, and then let the sealer dry a little bit, and then go all the way. You should be fine. Shouldn't have any oozing out the sides. This is where mine leaked, right here. My cover through that bolt hole, because it went around this channel. So, alright, Ian. Good luck.